Hi, namaste, shalom, assalamu alaikum. I hope everyone is okay. What day are we on? I think it's Monday morning here. So I hope you are okay wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Just want to send out lots of love and positive energy because it's difficult. But we've got each other. I was watching the parliamentary channel. Fun. So I was watching the parliamentary channel earlier, and one of the things I noticed is, firstly, there's hardly anyone there. Like, where are they? What are they doing? Seriously. But there was a couple of things that were interesting, I thought. The first one was the Scottish Parliament. They were talking about the criminal justice system. And they were saying about how 4 out of every 5 women in prison right now has been abused, is a victim of domestic abuse, and that 4 out of 5 have, as a result of that, also had some kind of head injury from domestic abuse. They also said that the suicide rate is 10 times higher than the national average. It's decaf. Back on the decaf. 10 times higher than the national average in prison. They also said that people go into prison without addictions and come out with addictions, with drug addictions, because they're getting drugs in. They're like this. They were saying that there's organised crime within prison, and they're getting drugs in. They said that they're getting drugs in by people are sending in letters and stuff that's obviously been soaked in some kind of drug-infused liquid that then can be separated again once in prison through, and it's not just through letters and clothes. And apparently that during lockdown they stopped not they didn't stop the letters, they photocopied them because of the flu, and they photocopied them instead of giving the original letter. And apparently the rate, the instances of sort of drug use or overdosing or drug related violence, I suppose, in prison or situations dramatically reduced. during lockdown because they did that. And then as soon as lockdown lifted and they restarted sending the original letters in, they had 7 ambulances out to the one prison one day on that first day from that. But do you not think that that's just all of those that information there is insane? And it's not just women. I'm not saying it's just women at all. I'm not, because it's 1 in 3 women and 1 in 7 men that gets abused. And I just feel like it's my duty to talk about this, and it's making people really uncomfortable. I gotta be honest with you, it is making a lot of people very uncomfortable. But it's the truth. And I'm not just doing it because of my own personal experience of what I'm going through right now, which is a joke. But I'm also doing it for all of the people that have been abused, that are being abused, that aren't speaking up, that are too afraid to speak up. I just feel it's my, because remaining silent is what makes it worse, as on whatever end side of it you're on. And, if we don't talk about it, if we don't get it out in the open, then we'll never fix it. Because there is this when you look at it, and you look not just right now but also through history, it's the culture, isn't it? It's the way, it's just the way it has always been. And we've been living in an illusion of thinking that it's in any way better, it's ever got any better, because it hasn't. It's just been hidden better because people don't talk about it all. Prometheus, Pleiades. And the thing is, it can get better. It really can. And so many people are suffering right now, for so many different reasons. And if you think, like, there's a direct correlation between abuse and then addiction. And I've sort of talked about it before, but there's so many things that are addictions, things that people don't even think are addictions, and like, you can be on one camp and you be all high and mighty about it and think that's not an addiction, and look down on people that have what would be traditional types of addictions. It's like they're all the fucking same. It's just doing the same thing to your mind. And this time here is really pushing people to their limits. And if you've got money, you'd think you'd be better. Well, everyone's different, I suppose, but you can afford to have all the better things, eat the healthiest food, drink the best water, have a personal trainer or whatever, a gym membership. Some people can't afford that. Just all of these things they probably don't even take, just don't even appreciate. It's just that's their way of living. And they're not sort of grateful for those things. And I say that because I just see it. I see it in people I know. There's somebody I know from. There's loads of people, just picking out one. And this girl has come from money. She doesn't work as such. All she does is get stressed, has her hair done, has her nails done, and goes drinking every day to fancy different places. Obviously during lockdown, but it didn't matter because she lives in a fancy place. Still the same thing though. And takes photos of herself doing that. That is the sum total of her existence. And that's great. If that's your bag, if that's your goal in life, then that's cool. That's everything's a choice, isn't it? But or not, but in comparison, I went for the other day, and I've earned a lot of money. I just don't give a shit about these kind of stuff. But I went the other day and I had my toenails painted for the first time in 39 years. Like by someone else. I've obviously painted them myself. And it's just little things like that. Like I was in there and I was saying to him, I can't believe, thank you so much. My God, I feel like a new woman just having my toenails painted. And I just don't think that she appreciates how easy she's got it. She don't care. She doesn't really care about anything other than what designer clothes she's going to put on, what designer shoes she's going to put on, what designer jewelry she's going to put on, what designer makeup she's going to put on, and then what really expensive alcohol she's going to drink all day, all night. That's her choices. That's the sum total of hard life for her. You know? And so with regards to everything that's going on, it's like doesn't even exist to someone like that. It's not even in their reality. Makes no difference to their life because they got the money to still do whatever the fuck they want. See what I mean? And if you compare that to the vast majority of people who are in difficult situations, either she's on her own as well. She doesn't have any kids or in a relationship or anything, so she's got nothing to worry about, I suppose, in that kind of state. And then you got people that haven't got food or water, or they've lost their businesses. So this is real for them, or their jobs or whatever. And meanwhile, she's posting pictures of herself in like 5-star hotels in London, drinking bottles of Krug or whatever. You're like, it's just a different world. And then that just got me thinking about a lot of the people that are in charge. That fair enough, we voted for them to be in charge, but they're not. They're not. They're not serving the people to the best of their ability, and literally the statistics prove it on every single topic. And yet you watch parliamentary TV, it's just an insult, and there's hardly anyone there. And that's their meeting, and hardly anyone's turned up. You're like, these people even take it seriously. And you got like Rishi Sunak, he's taking away the £20 uplift that they gave to the poorest people in society. He's taking that away. Meanwhile, we're paying for his £1.5 million pool that he's putting on his house. It's just topsy-turvy. Like the world, just like this girl, the world that these people that are making our decisions live in is a completely different world to what the vast majority of people live in. They've got no empathy. They've got a lot of them, not all, a lot of them don't necessarily come. It doesn't matter how well you're educated in a topic, it doesn't compare to actually living, coming from it, if you see what I'm saying. Like there's a young girl, Scottish MP, I actually do like her. She's probably the only one that I can think of. I can't remember her name right now. She's youngish. She's the youngest MP, I believe. But she knows. She's come, she's come from, she knows what she's talking about from real life experience, is what I mean. Whereas a lot of the people in Westminster, they're from money. They're from money, and they just don't live in the world that the rest of the population live in. They just don't. And if they have got any experience, they pretend that they're hiding the reality of whatever it is they're doing behind closed doors. And it's like holier than thou attitude, and it's like, you're all you're liars. You're proven liars day after day after day after day. It's not, it's not a question if you're lying. You are lying, and everyone knows it. And you're lying on multiple topics. And you're just lying in your pockets and bigging yourselves up. They're like high-fiving it, like the way they were talking. Oh, we're so great. It's like, what? Where are you? Where are you? Seriously? To think that you're doing a good job. The thing that any of them can sit there and think that they're doing a good job. Do they actually speak to anyone? Because I think they'll find that the entire population does not think that they're doing a good job or have done a good job. And I don't give a shit if they go, oh, under the circumstances. No, because there is no circumstances. That's the point. And then you've got a question. that's what they're doing to the country and to each and every person. It's horrifying, really. And that's the thing, people don't, and everyone I know that is just trying to share information, and you're getting bullied, you're getting attacked for sharing information. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what people are getting like. And they're so adamant on this like one view, and literally dismissing every other piece of information, every person that are far more qualified than them in every fucking topic. They're dismissing people that have done this for their entire lives, or whatever, whether it's law, whether it's medicine, vaccines, whatever. And they're just flat out like, no, they're wrong. How do you know? You literally don't know. You literally don't know what you're talking about. You are not qualified in any of those areas. You don't have experience in any of those areas, but you're not believing them. Why? Because somebody's told you not to. And you're not questioning that. Wow. Wow. And they go on like they're having votes on amendments for ages. So they say, oh, we're going to do amendments such and such. They don't go anywhere. They don't get anywhere. They do a vote and some say no, some say yeah. Then they go, oh, well, we can't do anything with that one because nobody agreed. And then they move on to the next one. It's like, well, what's the fucking point? It's just hot air. Just sitting around talking shit and doing nothing. But spending taxpayers' money on shit that we don't want, on shit that we don't need, while simultaneously not listening to a fucking word any of us are saying. And any addiction, any bad habit, any addiction. So just the list of sort of, and you've got to remember as well, I know I am going on the offensive when it comes to abusers, but that's my prerogative. They ain't been held accountable ever. The worst ones certainly don't. And now's the time. End of. And that's just how it's going to go. And the thing is as well, even like if we like looking at my, if you think narcissists and abusers have probably all been abused themselves, which is why they've become that way. Right? And that doesn't not excuse their behaviour in any way, shape or form, FYI, but that is what's going to have happened. And they've probably gone through this process of maybe trying to tell. And they've not been listened to or been heard, and it's just continued, and it's broken them and made them the way that they are. And that behaviour, gets worse. And they think it's all right because society, the way that society has gone, is and because they aren't held accountable in any way, shape or form, and they constantly get away with it, it's like enabling it. It's basically a big sign saying you can do whatever you fuck you want because you're going to get away with it anyway. isn't it? I don't know, I can't remember if I told you. There was a case a few years back where an Irish rugby team, sorry, Ireland, this is no picture of everyone there, this is just an actual fact. So, an Irish rugby team, 15 players, raped a girl. And they went to court. I think I might have told you, but I'll tell you again. They raped a girl. And then they, in court, the lawyer said, and he held up her thong as evidence. And he said, well, you were asking for it. Hold on. They would have only seen that thong when they were taking her fucking clothes off to rape her. They got most of them, I think all of them bar a couple, got acquitted for gang rape. And they're trying to blame them raping her on her. This is how fucked up it is. This is how fucked up it is. If I walk around in a fucking bikini or whatever I want, let's not limit it to just whatever I want, in whatever it is, there's no relevance to any form of me wanting any attraction. I'm wearing something because I want to wear it, not because I'm walking around going, oh, please give me some attention. Like, fucking hell. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, my clothes do not determine how I feel about somebody. Like, it's just crazy talk. Women should be allowed to wear whatever the fuck they want, and that bears no relevance to any kind of sexual connotation. Like, the onus should be on the other person. It's not the onus on the girl having to cover up because showing too much skin makes a man uncontrollable. Like, fucking hell. Get some self-control. Wearing underwear does not mean that you want to have sexual intercourse with any person. Like, it's just insane. Right? Walking, as I say, going around in a bikini. So what? Every man you walk past, you're that just the pure fact that you're in a bikini means that you're basically telling them that you're free for business. Really? Really? Are we in like medieval days here? Fucking hell. And I did tell you about the guy at the petrol station. This young lad walked past me. I was speechless. Absolutely speechless. Walked past me, and I wasn't wearing a bra, but I don't have to. I don't like wearing bras. They're uncomfortable. That's it. That's just my choice. Now, we didn't used to have bras, did we? So I can deal with it. And just because I'm not wearing a bra does not mean, again, that means anything. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not wearing a bra because I just don't want to wear one, and it's not uncomfortable. And he walks past in the shop and comes up to my face. Like that, like right in my face. I can see your nipples. Who the fuck do you think you are to get into my personal space like that? And then even worse, when I walked out to the car, he was there. He was standing there. He was walking past the car when I was getting in it. And he went, show me your nipple. This is some teeny bop. Like, what has happened? What has happened to us? Where this kind of behaviour is acceptable in any way. I find it deeply offensive. I find it deeply, deeply offensive. I don't want anyone in my personal space. Literally. I was going to go somewhere with that. Where was I going? Yeah. And then to go into schools and stuff. And it's just, we've just, there was an 11-year-old with a pregnant 11-year-old in town. Like, showing off her belly she was to her friends, to her 11-year-old friends. What on earth is an 11-year-old doing? Having sex? Where is everybody? Where is her parents? Where is school? Where is social services? Where is police? Where's anybody? Do we just not care anymore, or because this is going down somewhere where I don't think anyone wants it to go? And in order for it to stop, everyone's got to do something about it. Everyone's got to change, and nobody wants to do that either. So it's like, well, you know, you want to moan about paedophiles and abusers, which are rife, but then simultaneously let that shit go on, or not make them accountable in court, or protect them in the system, or whatever it is. It's just the whole thing is backward. Like, and if you think about what's going on with my situation right now, so I've been telling them since the get-go, and recording the evidence and doing all, and pre-recorded evidence is allowed to be used, hence why I did it, so that should anything ever happen to me, they'd all go down. Every single person in his family would go down, because they are all criminals and they have done everything I've said, and I've got the evidence of it, and they've already got all of the recordings. So should they ever be stupid enough to do anything, they'd all go down anyway. But also in addition, it's just highlighted how none of these systems talk to each other. None of them care. They all want to pass the buck from one to the other. Nobody wants to take responsibility for this problem. And they've basically they're enabling, because it is bullshit, and it is wholeheartedly being done as just another method of abuse, and to use my children against me as a weapon against me, to silence me from continuing to speak up against him, them, and their crimes, which they have also done before with the girl before me. They harassed her, they flew her out of the country, so she wasn't in the country when his court case. So she didn't testify, and he didn't get the 8 years that he should have got. He got 2 years, of which he served 9 months. Right? So they've done it before. This is the exact same thing. As soon as I started speaking up about my behavior, this shit started. So the because of virtual court and lockdowns and the shit process, clearly, and their complete ineptitude in every single way, to even they have no empathy. They clearly don't even understand narcissism, abuse, psychological abuse, or anything, because when you do, and when you've had personal experience of it, it sticks out like an alarm bell ringing whenever you're around it. When you can see it in people, you can see it, you just know. You know the signs. And then so everything is I've come forward and said is true. I've got all of the evidence and recorded everything. I've catalogued everything, to even from the people within the system, to prove how shit they are as well. And here we are, and they've basically enabled them to abuse me more by letting this shit continue this long. It's just unbelievable. And then you realise how serious this actually is. It's not, I'm not saying it for me, like, just in terms of it everywhere. This is the crux of the fucking problem right here. When you've got people just getting away with it. What that does to not only people's mental health as the other party, whichever way it is, whether it's man abusing a woman, or woman abusing a man. Also, the mental health of the children that are caught up in this. What are they saying to my kids? Seriously. And it's like, what on earth? Everybody knows that it's true. Yet they're sort of trapped in his kind of web of lies. It's only going to bring them down. It's only going to bring themselves down. Because they obviously all protect them. They hide it all and protect each other, and then they kind of wear this facade of religious superiority and holier than thou. And you're like, hold on, mate. Hold on. How can you do that with a straight fucking face when you're basically the front of a fucking criminal organisation that abuses people within your own family and then the wider community because of the nature of what you're doing? Anyway, I find this if I'm watching what's going on, knowing what I know, deeply disturbing. Because people, it is messing with people's heads, and it's making people angry. It's making people's addictions worse. It's making people who weren't addicted to things. It's it's awful. And I just want it to end now. And I'm losing people over this because I won't shut up. All I want to do really is just help. And there's literally so many ways to be healthier, to not you don't need all this shit that they try and pump into us to be healthy and happy. Stop it. Hold on a sec. I've shared all these, these different ways many times. But I really believe that if we focused on fixing this abuse, stopping this abuse, this cycle of abuse, and everything that then comes with it, like the trauma and the mental health, and then addiction. If we focused on sorting those things, I think it would be better. And yeah, and that's what I forgot to say. So yeah, it takes 3 weeks. Scientifically proven. If you do certain things, if you make a decision, whatever it is, if you're depressed and you don't want to be depressed anymore, it is a simple. And then it's just gonna sound, I know, because I did this exact thing. It sounds no way. There's no way you can just do it like that, but it is true. You can, which is you just decide. I don't want to be depressed anymore. And then you're just reprogramming yourself, and actually taking action. Because I just used to wallow around, really. I wallow in it. And then I'd wonder why I wouldn't be getting any better. It's just crazy, isn't it? Like, well, I'm not doing absolutely nothing to help the situation, but I'd be expecting it to change. And then as soon as I took charge, as soon as I'd made that decision, and it was kind of like a divine intervention. That's what it felt like. And as soon as I just sort of focused on trying to be better and be healthier and educate myself on all of those kind of things, just learning about, well, what is depression? How does it work? What's the psychology of it? What are all the things? Literally just searching all of the things. Like how? Just Google search. How to overcome depression, and then just try everything that's on there. It did, literally. I just reprogrammed myself. So I tried it all. And it works. It does work. And as soon as you start feeling better, then you're like, oh, wow. It's as simple as that. And then you start understanding yourself and why it's all, why it's been that way and why you may have made certain decisions. But yeah, it takes 3 weeks. 3 weeks to break 21 days. If you do something over and over and over again for 21 days, you can form a new habit and thus break the old one. So obviously if it's an addiction of some kind or a bad habit, you can still do it, but you've got to obviously replace it with a good one. Don't you? Because boredom, I think boredom, is one of the that'll be a trigger. You got to have something to do. You got something to focus on, something to create, something to think about. But yeah. And some people find, like, I just listen to motivational things, or if it's, if it's not educating, or I listen to, if it's educational, motivational and inspirational, then I'll listen to it or watch it. And if it's not, I won't. But yeah, just seen a lot of people losing. There's extremes. I've got people that I'm losing a lot of weight because they ain't eating, or people gaining weight because they're eating their emotions. Like, I know people's addictions have got out of control. And it's pushing people to a place. It's dangerous because it's not just that one thing. It's all the knock-on thing. It's the knock-on effects, and then the knock-on effects on your health, on your mind, on your body, on your soul, on your connection to yourself, to others, to your family, to your children. And everyone, so many people have died from perfectly preventable illnesses during this time. And they're going on a smear campaign now, the old mainstream media, on ivermectin, even though there's 44 peer-reviewed papers and trials on it, all proving that it works. Because now that obviously they're shitting themselves because everyone knows about ivermectin, and now they want to try and poo-poo it like it's nothing, even though it's already been used as an antiviral for a very long time, and has been on the WHO's list of safest drugs for a very long time. But obviously, because they haven't used it or prescribed it from the beginning, and you have to get a court order, which they do give you because the evidence backs up that it has been used and that it works and it cures COVID in 48 hours. But obviously, their lack of approving it basically means they're murderers. So obviously, they're going to try and discredit that. They're just on the offensive. They're trying to discredit everyone. They're trying to discredit everyone and anyone who is saying anything against them. I mean, it's farcical. It's so blatant and so stupid. It's like you literally have to be asleep at this point to not realise that there is something really seriously wrong with what's going on. I put a post up on Instagram, and it was just a snapshot of the figures taken directly from the EU vigilance adverse reporting sites. That's government managed, right? So that's actual data, actual reports on a government site. Posted that. Instantly, Instagram took it down, telling me it was harmful content. What? Harmful? You're telling me that the data directly from the government website is harmful content? It's like Facebook and Instagram couldn't be more fucking obvious if it tried on where it stands on this and whose side it's on and what they're trying to do. Like, it's like, Like, fuck me. The levels of censorship are stupid. Stupid. That is actual data. They're dismissing 2 million people who've reported adverse side effects and 25,000 deaths. It's not a small number, is it? That's just in Europe. So naturally, I screenshotted them of the thing, and then I reposted that because it also had the original post still in it. So I just shared that anyway. So I've seen lots of posts that people are struggling, so it's going to be okay. Just got to ride the storm, go with the flow. Stay united, keep sharing whatever we can. We can only do so much. Because at the end of the day, people believe what they want to believe, and then you can't force anyone to do anything. You shouldn't anyway. Because it's a choice. And at the end of the day, you have to live with your choice, don't you? You have to live with that choice forever. So if people want to ignore all the information, and they want to ignore the people who are sharing their stories of what these things have done to them already, these shots, then that is on them. So love you. Everyone's done an amazing job this. So every day there's more protests. Not that they show it on mainstream media, but I do. I'm posting like an absolute, like, I must post like once every sort of, I go through space, but it's got to be once every few minutes when I'm in my like posting zone, much to everyone's annoyance. But fuck it, the people are just like, they're out. I don't even understand. I just don't understand how you don't care. I don't get it. I don't understand how people can be thinking about anything else other than what is going on right now. Well, in terms of, I'm not just talking about the flu. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about everything that goes with it, all of it, what it means, the underlying issue. And there's, like, as I say, this girl just going out, getting shit faced every day. That's what's important to her. That's what I mean. There's different worlds going on. There's the world that most people live in, and then there's this other world that is completely devoid of care, empathy, It's just odd. So, I've ranted on enough. Love you guys. I really appreciate all the people I just want to say thank you, because you keep me going. So